Alright guys, welcome back to Yifang's channel. Today we're actually here to talk about the Superlight. So I have only really 4 mice on me these days, so I'm going to review all of them. But I'm going to start with the Superlight, also because this is the mouse I think is the worst out of the 4 that I have. I've talked about it in the previous video of why, like everything you need to know about mice. So a lot of things from this video will refer back to that one. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, just go watch that and it should talk about it. Timestamps on that one as well. But anyway, this is a Superlight. Doesn't need any more introduction. You should all know what it is. It's definitely the most used mouse across all esports titles, which does not actually mean that's a good thing, because keep in mind that Logitech sponsors pretty much everything. All the pro players have to use this mouse to an extent. So, and also, lots of pro players themselves aren't actually this mouse like addicts. They don't necessarily like trying different mice or whatever. So to them, it's not something they like that really they care about. So they get given this. It's a good mouse. They'll use it, and they call it a day. For the people who are more interested in mice itself, which are like us, that's why you're here for this review. So, start with the basics. Price, you can find this anywhere between 180 to like 280 Australian dollars or whatever the hell. Shit goes on discount all the time. There's always some store doing a discount or whatever, so just make sure that you find where, if you're gonna buy one, find out where it's being sold the cheapest at the time, and that's about that. Yeah, so do not buy this full priced. There's always somewhere that has a discount for it. If not, buy a different mouse or just wait for a discount. All right. The sensor is the Logitech 25K, whatever the hell sensor they call it. It does the job. I think there's nothing wrong with the sensor. I talked about this in the other video about sensors in general. This sensor I've had no issues with. In the box it would come with like cable, some stock grips, which I think are really terrible. So if you do plan to use grips on this, make sure you buy aftermarket. Comes with an additional puck thing on the back here, so this little thing, underneath it, which you can either use this plastic one or you can use one that actually has mouse skates on it as well. It goes in magnetically, I'm sure you would know. You could just not use this at all for a little bit less weight, but honestly it doesn't make a difference to me. Build quality is actually very good, so that is something to be expected of Logitech. Feels really solid for what it is and surprisingly light for how sturdy it feels. So nothing wrong with build quality. I know people run into issues with double click issues or whatever. I have yet to encounter that. Clicks feel good. Scroll wheel is definitely really good as well. I don't see how you can not like the scroll wheel, the clicks and everything about it. So great. Everything about it is great from a build perspective, from a click, everything. They've done well, right? That's the one thing they've done well. It's Logitech, that's what you expect. Now, on to the main part. So if you want to hear more about that, you can watch other reviewers. Everyone talks about the same thing all the time. I'm just here to focus on shape and why I think this is actually not even that good of a mouse anymore. I would rate it down the bottom of my list. To give you the quick conclusion, TLDR, if you don't want to watch the rest of this video, I think this is a noob mouse, right? This is the mouse for people who either don't care about mice enough, they just want to buy something they know will work and just call it a day, or it's for people who don't know what their preferences are and they just want something safe, right? It's the same thing essentially. Either you don't care or you don't know. And so either way, you can get a safe shape. It will definitely work for you, regardless of what grip you are, whatever. That's why you would get it. But if you like mice, if you want to maximize your performance, this is not it. This will not give you your optimal performance ever, in my opinion. There's always something that does something better than this for you as an individual. And that will be better for maximizing your performance. But this will always work. Whereas for other mice, it might work for someone, it might not work for someone. This will always work for someone, but as a result, it will never be the optimal. The thing is, a lot of the time you have to try many mice to find out what works best for you, and not everyone either has the financial ability to do that, or they just can't be bothered. So if that's you, you don't have the money for it, or you don't care, get this. If you know your preferences, you have the money or whatever, make sure you try other stuff. Now, onto the shape. They have this shape that's been out since the OG G Pro, which was 80 grams plus and same shape really. Egg shaped, whatever you want to call it. And it works for everyone, like I was keep saying, but it doesn't optimize. It's not optimal, right? The problem with this is, we'll talk about the grips. For palm gripping, it's not that good. because it doesn't have like an ergo shape, right? If you're going to rest your whole hand on the mouse, ergos usually work better because they're designed for your right hand. They're designed to be relaxing and fits right into your hand, which ultimately means you are put into a palm position, right? That's how the mice are designed. For this, it's a bit too lean, for me at least. It's not wide enough to be a palm grip mouse, but at the same time, like, it just doesn't have the design, the exterior to fit into to mold to your hand, and therefore give you that comfort of a palm grip. So it's not to say you can't palm grip it, but there's ergonomic mice designed for palm grip that will work better for this if you're a palm gripper. Now, on the claw grip, right? I talked about in the other video why, as a claw grip mouse, this then sucks, because first of all, I can't tell if you guys can see it in the video, but when the mouse approaches the front here, it goes wider instead of going thinner. So as a result, your fingers are more extended out, and you don't actually have that fingertip control that you get from a claw over the palm advantage. And for the hump as well, the hump is not far back. It's more like in the center of the mouse. So it doesn't really go into your palm either for you to have that stability of the claw grip on the back, right? If you want to claw grip this properly, either you have to go super far back, in which case by then there is no hump on the back, so you actually have to go forward. And then that means this mouse, it doesn't have that front curvature for your fingertips to be down. So you're forced into this really awkward claw grip that doesn't particularly benefit you moving around either. And so in general, like, the shape, you can do a claw grip on it, but it's not optimally designed for claw grip. Fingertip, same thing, right? You can fingertip this, you can fingertip really any mouse, but it's really big and really heavy compared to other mice designed for fingertipping, which is why I would not recommend it for fingertipping either. So the summary is, you can do everything on it, you just can't do it well. And that is pretty much the entire reason of why I put this mouse really far down on my list now, because there's always something better for each person's different needs. Now, other things about it, weight distribution, very good. If you spin the mouse, it spins. It doesn't feel like it's particularly far back or particularly far forward. Like, the weight is right in the center. See where I'm gripping it? Right in the middle. It doesn't fall back or forth. Grab it slightly by front, it rolls back. Grab it slightly by the back, it rolls forward. Center is perfectly balanced. So that's a good sign. The placement of the sensor itself is good as well. There's no issue where I'm like, oh, I moved it to the right, but it moved slightly upwards and to the right, or something like that. Skates, I'm an okay fan of this. I personally would prefer big skates like this over tiny skate areas. I think that's just me. But if you want to know more about skates, make sure you watch the other video as well. But yeah, skates are good. I have replaced ones on this. I forgot what they are. I can't remember if this was Tiger Ice or Core Pads, but skates are fine. And like I said, when I used to play this playing game with this mouse, I always had an issue where I'm like, I struggle to do micro adjustments, and that is an attribute of the front part of the design. Not just the flanges coming like flaring out, and it also has to do with the curvature of this click itself not being like more sloped. It's a bit too flat. It doesn't slope down hard enough. So that was my issue with this, which is why I'm onto other mice for my claw grip. But yeah, that's in-game performance for you. That's how I felt it relate to in-game. Yeah, if you go in, you're like, when I'm clicking, crosshair placement's good, everything's good. But just those times where I need to do micro adjustments, where I do little movements, minor flicks, I'm just like, oh, I can't do this with this mouse. It just doesn't feel right. I would always go too much, or it just doesn't move. So that is the quick review of the Superlight. The shape, it all comes down to the shape. There's mice these days that have better weight, better shape for your specific needs, and just everything, right? But as an all-rounder, this is still one of the best mice out there as an all-rounder. Like I said before, if you don't know, you just get it. You can't go wrong with it. But if you're into mice, you want to try different things, you know your preferences, this is not it, right? So take that with a grain of salt. You might prefer this. You might try other mice and be like, oh, I still went back to the Superlight. Totally understandable, but that is what I think about the Superlight. So I'll put the other videos in the description below, and also the other mouse reviews will be coming with this. These are poor quality. I don't care. I only have this webcam. Otherwise, I'll use my phone to record it, but it's easier for me with the webcam. So until these videos start doing well, everything's going to be shit quality, but let's just hope that people like my reviews. All right, see you guys in the next one.